Mando fam, welcome back to another video. Today I have a whole bunch of overstable mid-ranges to throw, and that's what we're gonna do. Yikes. We're gonna throw a butt ton of overstable mid-ranges because that is one thing in my game that I've noticed that just is not there right now. I used to have a DGA Quake and then I lost it. So that is what birthed this video. I need an overstable mid-range in my bag if I wanna take that next jump in disc golf. Right now, I don't really have one. I had that MX1 that I threw in the Prodigy, that Prodigy MX1 that I threw in the Creekside tournament and the Rolling Pines tournament, and it was all good, and I liked it, but I didn't feel like too confident in it. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. We're out here at the field. We're gonna find that perfect overstable mid-range disc for my game. Whatever works for me might not work for you, and that's completely fine, but I'm letting you into my disc golf career, if you will, my journey to take it from MA3 all the way to hopefully MPO one day. So we are gonna find that overstable mid-range today. If that's interesting, stay tuned. So as you probably know, when I first got this Simon Lozado Hex, it was pretty much straight with a reliable finish at the end. It is no longer overstable. If you wanna call the zone an overstable mid-range, go for it, but I as kind of a putter approach, and it's only a 4-speed, so I really need that 5 or 6 speed to where I can actually rip into it and get another 20-30 feet, so that's gonna be out. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to review these discs right here, and we have a Justice from Dynamic Discs, we have a Mutant from Discmania, we have a Pyro from Axiom Discs, we have a Buzz OS from Discraft, and we also have an Anchor from Latitude 64 and a Rock 3 from Innova in Champion Plastic. So let me just say thank you so much to Daryl over at Down 4 Disc Golf for supplying me pretty much half of these discs. This video would not be possible without you. If you're in the Charlotte or Concord area, you're looking for a disc golf shop, go to Down 4 Disc Golf. Incredible selection, great prices, everything like that. So be sure to check him out. So without further ado, let's start with the Dynamic Discs Justice. I'm throwing all these flat. Okay, that's kind of money. So that one I thought I threw flat, but it had a little bit of hyzer on it. Oh, I rolled my wrist on that one. Rock 3 next. This is actually the first time I've ever thrown a Rock 3. And I don't know why that was my first. Somebody said that this is like a tilt, so we'll see how this goes. It's pretty overstable. I don't think I'm looking for anything that overstable. And another disc I haven't thrown before is an Opto Anchor from Lat 64. So let's see if this lives up to the hype. That's in the net. Oh, a little understable. Or I rolled my wrist. So first impressions after throwing them for the first time, they're all pretty money, not gonna lie. There's a couple of them that I rolled my wrist, and that's why I'm out here at the field, testing them all out just to kind of figure out what feels good in the hand, what flies good, all that. If I have any missed throws, I can throw again. But first round, I think it goes to the Rock 3. That thing was money, baby. Uh-oh. So far, I would say the most overstable is a Justice and this Mutant. So both these yellow guys right here are probably the most overstable. I would say the one that feels best in my hand is definitely the Pyro, but I haven't really given the Anchor a good rip yet because that does feel good in the hand, but I think I've just been flicking my wrist or making it too low or something like that. So let's see how this next round goes. There's a good throw with the Rock 3. That thing actually pushes fairly straight. I thought it'd be a little bit more overstable. That, I don't know if it's the Optoplastic, but that Anchor, that Mutant I put on Annie, and it was like severe Annie. I'm not a fan of that Mutant. I think you got a feel of how the forehand kind of works. I threw a couple bad ones there, but consistency's hard, you know? So I would say just off of feel alone, the Pyro, the Buzz OS, and the Rock 3, and then the Mutant is literally just a tilt, so I'm not even gonna touch that again. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna throw a couple backhands. They might not be pretty, but sometimes you need them out on the course, and I just need to know what I can trust in my hand. So I'm still gonna do all 5 of these discs. I'm just leaving the Mutant out of it because I don't like it. We're gonna start with the Anchor. Maybe if I can throw a forehand and it flips up, maybe I can throw a backhand and it just rides straight. That's just high. That's just high. Wow, talk about accuracy. That feels good. I mean, I obviously don't have the, Pyro almost found that bench again. I obviously don't have the distance to get it all the way past those trash cans because my backhand just isn't good. But I feel like if it's overstable already, that was gonna be a really good flying disc. That Rock 3 though, there's something about it. What is it with me in that chair? Whoever's chair that I just hit twice over at Bradford Park, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to vandalize you. These are my finalists for my Overstable mid-ranges. I'm gonna go ahead and do a time lapse now, but we have the Opto Lat 64 Anchor, the Innova Champion Rock 3, the Buzz OS and ESP plastic, and the Pyro from Axiom discs and Proton plastic. So those are the ones that are moving on to the final. Obviously, I know there's a ton of more companies out there that I just did not get to get my hands on a disc, and maybe that Overstable mid-range would be better for me anyway, but these are my 4 finalists. We're gonna see how they go. If you want to know what made the bag, here is your answer. The Justice is a no, but it was close. The Anchor is an absolutely not. The Mutant was a heck no. The Rock 3 was so close to being good, but then it just turned bad, so that's a no. The Pyro is probably gonna make the bag, and the Buzz OS is absolutely making the bag. If you wanna figure out why they're making the bag, stay tuned. But if not, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, at 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a Doom Bird 4, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But if you wanna see why the Buzz OS, the Pyro, and maybe the Justice is making the bag, stay tuned. The Mutant is just a mini tilt. This thing, it's an overstable mid-range, and it is overstable. Like, I think the numbers on this should be 5.415. Like, this thing is just a little bit too crazy for my liking. It's the Zone OS without it being the Zone OS, or it's the tilt without being the tilt, if that makes any sense. So that's why I will not be using this guy. The Justice is a really good overstable mid-range disc, and I think because this thing is a little bit used, I think is the reason I'm not gonna be bagging it. So I'd be totally open to having a new Justice and seeing how that thing flies comparatively to the Pyro or the Buzz OS. But this thing, because it's used, it flips up to flat a little bit and it just kind of drops after that. Like, it doesn't really have a consistent fade. So this Justice is a good one. I'd give it another chance if it was new. The Pyro is just money. The way it feels in my hand, I feel confident. I can always release it on the right line. I don't feel like I could ever roll my wrist on this type of shot on a forehand. On a backhand, I think it's money. I mean, this is just a really good disc overall. And if you're looking for an overstable mid, go with a Pyro. The Buzz OS is also making my bag just because it has a little bit more fade than the Pyro. The Pyro is a 5.402.5, and this is 5.403. So I don't think flight numbers really tell you how much it's actually going to fade, but I've seen from throwing the Buzz OS comparatively to the Pyro that this does fade more, and that's something that you need in the bag. You need one that fades just a little bit more than your other one, because when they get beat in, you're still gonna need that. This Rock 3, I wish I had this in Star Plastic, because this thing was really good. The first 2 throws I ever threw, it was perfect. It was honestly one of the best flying overstable mid-ranges I've ever seen. But ever since after those 2 throws, I could not throw this thing ever again. This thing was just bad. It would flip up to flat on a hyzer. If I threw it flat, it was gonna roll into a cut roll. Like, I don't know what I did on those first 2 throws, but it was perfect, but now it isn't. And now finally, the one that was hyped up, I think, the most was my Anchor from Lat 64 and Opto Plastic. Anytime I throw Opto Plastic from Lat 64, it does the same exact thing that that Rock does. If I throw it flat, it's gonna turn into a cut roll. If I throw it on hyzer, it's gonna flip up to flat. And as overstable mid-ranges, we should not be getting that out of these overstable mid-ranges. What I want out of an overstable mid-range is if I throw it on hyzer, it's gonna end on hyzer. I don't want it to flip up to flat. If I throw it flat, it's going to push straight with a nice little fade at the end. So all 4 of those discs were great, and I thought they were, or 3 of those discs, not including the Mutant, but the Justice was good. I would try it again in new. The Rock 3 and the Anchor were basically the same problem, flat to roller, hyzer to flip up. I need something that's overstable, hence the title of the video, Overstable. So That is why these are going in my bag. Let me know in the comment section what Overstable Midrange you are bagging and in what plastic, because I do think that goes a long way. Thanks for watching this video. Again, like I said, just probably 2 minutes ago, 1,000 subscribers, we're nearing it. I'm giving away a Dune Bird 4. Be sure to click that video out up here, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.